I better scope this net out to full length.
Yeah. Don't listen to me.
Another one.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, that's a nice one.
What happened? Yeah, nice.
Hey, you hooked my roof.
Well, we unhooked the fish for you.
There you go. Well, that was good.
Yeah, hooked on the roof.
That was that new lure I just put on. Oh, spit out. See that bait spit out?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. There he is, guys. They are biting here at Folsom Lake. Howdy guys, Kel Kellogg here. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're not already a subscriber, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll always know when I'm here on YouTube talking about trout fishing. And today I'm going to give you guys a Folsom Lake fishing report. I've been running, instructional trout fishing trips out at Folsom Lake. Great opportunity to learn the finer points of trolling for reservoir trout, particularly if you're interested in deep trolling. I'm using a combination of dipsy divers and downriggers. The action goes anywhere from, good to very good to great, depending on the day and depending on whether or not you're able to find the fish. Bottom line is, Folsom is almost, 100% full. There's a lot of trout out there, but there's also a lot of unproductive water. Surface temperature right now is ranging from about 77 to 80 degrees, depending where you're at. It cools off quickly as you drop down in the water column. My depth right now, my hot depth range has been 35 to 45 feet for the rainbows. We have not picked up any salmon. If that salmon bite should happen to come on, I will absolutely be targeting king salmon out there. But right now, I'm just running trout gear. I'm watching reports carefully. The salmon just aren't there. They're just not showing at this time. So makes sense to target the rainbows. 2 weeks ago, it was all about fishing the arms, both the South Fork and the North Fork. Since then, the best action has moved down into the main body. And they are hitting very specific offerings for me. I'm trolling fairly fast, 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. 2 weeks ago when I was up in the arms, it was all about pulling soft plastics, Trout, Trix worms, and trigger minnows. That bite has backed off for me. Now it's all about pulling spoons, and not just any spoon. I am getting some fish on large spoons, but the best bite has been, coming on the more compact spoons, blues, chromes, coppers, stuff like that. And the reason for that is pretty simple. The trout want to feed on pond smelt, and right now, the pond smelt are about that big. I'll see them spitting up pond smelt behind the boat when we land a fish. So match the hatch, match what they want to feed on, and that's how you're going to maximize your results out there at the lake. There have been some distinct bite windows. You'll get, anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours of really good action, and then that bite will die. When the bite backs off, that's the time to go looking for fish. If you have located some fish and you start getting hit, that's the time to grind on that area, because those trout are all holding together. All different size classes of fish are holding in, one kind of mass, one kind of area, and they're on the feed. That's the time you really want to cut that lake down to size, grind on that area, and maximize the results, because that bite's going to, eventually end, and you're going to have to go searching, and you may or may not find another pod of fish that are willing to go. You might find another pod of fish, but the trick is finding one that is willing to go, because they're all kind of on the same time schedule, kind of the same page out there. If you're starting out the day blind, you don't know what you're going to pull, I suggest pulling, if you have a partner, I'd rig up with 4 rods. I suggest pulling 4 different spoons right now, or at least different colored spoons right now. They can be very finicky. My last trip out, they wanted a silver and blue spoon over a straight silver spoon. Subtle difference, but it made all the difference in the world in terms of the number of fish we landed. Surprisingly, some days, the dipsy divers outperform the downriggers. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes the downriggers do better. But I will tell you this, I have not had a trip in the last 10 days or so when I did not pop fish on the dipsy divers. So if you got them, put them in the water. If you don't have any, pick some up. I'm pulling those Dipsy divers. I was pulling them on my yellow lead core rods, but I am pulling them on my salmon halibut striper rods, and they're proven to work very, very well. I'm pulling them out of the bow of the pontoon boat. It gives us 2 bonus lines, and those bonus lines are paying dividends, that's for sure. Keep your speed fairly fast at this time. I think this bite is going to slowly transition into the arms. Not that you won't be able to catch fish in the main body, but I think as we transition out of summer and into fall, the action in the arms is going to heat up, and we're going to see very good fly trolling, good night crawler trolling, stuff like that. But right now, it's all about medium-sized spoons pulled pretty briskly, 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. I'm pulling trigger spoon juniors, and I'm pulling pinheads primarily. I've played with other spoons. I've gotten a few on Speedy Shiners. I've gotten a few on Castmasters. But really the best spoon that I have found recently is that chrome pinhead. That's what's going on at Folsom Lake. The catfish action out there is very, very slow, surprisingly. I talked to a guy that obviously targets them at the boat dock the other day. He had caught 4 fish this month, and he said that's way behind his usual pace. I talked to a fascinating guy out there carp fishing with traditional European carp fishing gear, and he reported having really, really good results. And, oh, here comes a car. I'll get back to you in a second. That was a big old white Dodge Power Wagon, gigantic truck, beautiful truck. Anyway, the carp guy reported that he is doing very well on carp, anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds. He's using homemade dough balls, and looked like he was having a lot of fun. I'd love to go out there and just pepper him with questions and kind of figure out the ropes on that carp fishing, because they are large and they do pull hard, and it was kind of fascinating seeing what he was doing. Last but not least, the bass action out there is the bite's starting to come back after that, that post-spawn period. The bass guys that are using bass gear, they're fishing, 30, 35 feet deep with the finesse stuff, during the day, drop shot rigs, Ned rigs, stuff like that. Top waters are working early and late, and if I get inside of the 30-foot contour line, I am picking up bass on my spoons. There's a few largemouths around up to about 4 pounds, spots to 3 pounds. Average fish out there, 12-inch spot that weighs a pound, fights like crazy. If you're a bass guy, definitely a good place to go, especially if you're local here in the Sacramento area. Very good bass fishing on tap at Folsom Lake. Not a big surprise. It's a great bass lake. Anyway, that's it for now. If you're looking for any of the tackle I mentioned in this video, get on up to FHSfishing.com. You can check out our store, and if you're interested in a hands-on guided trout instructional trip at one of the most challenging lakes in Northern California, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to learn it while reeling in some fish. Book a trip. Check out my guide and calendar on the website. Grab a spot, and we will be out on the water learning and yelling fish on. I'm Kel Kellogg. Have a wonderful day, guys.